Hello everybody, welcome back to the channel. Today we are going to talk about how you make a dark and gloomy entrance hall into one that is grand and open. So as you can see here, we used to have a very dark and cottage style staircase. I will never forget coming into the space thinking, oh my gosh, what could we do with this? It was really closed, it was dark. In fact, you'd have been really surprised to have seen what it once was to what it is now. So we've opened it all up. I love a staircase that flutes into the room. We're obviously restricted with the space that we're given. So the staircase, what once was there, was very cottagey, and then underneath had a WC that you step down into. So what we've done is we've opened all that up and we've brought in this lovely staircase that flutes down, and this elegance to it has made it feel far grander. So you can see here that we've allowed it to be quite airy and open. So I really wanted to make sure that we had very delicate spindles, ones that are really, really intricate. So what you've got here is something that's not too overwhelming, not too fussy, but they're bronzed so that you actually see through them but have warmth. So they're not dark, they're not too bright, they're real in between the two. So they're very complementary to the space. You will have noticed before where I've spoken about feeling the samples of what you're going to use. And so we got a sample of this handrail made for myself and the client to really feel how it would feel coming down the stairs, because not only does it need to look beautiful, it also needs to feel good when you're using it. So we made sure that it was really a well-fitted handrail to fit in your hand, and it feels so beautiful as you come down. So it's like a polished walnut. And again, it's an American walnut, so all of these colours and tones coming through are just beautiful. So that grandeur is complete contrast to the cottage it once was. You'll see that the staircase flutes down, so each step has got its own individual shape to it. It's curved off at all of the ends. So by doing this and then nurturing it up, you're allowing this grandeur and elegance, which is just beautiful. And I've made sure that there's light in between the landing and where the staircase spirals down, so that you can make sure we can fit a pendant. And this Catalani pendant is definitely something. The light reflection that it allows on the wall, we always like a reflection from our pendants, and this one creates a really lovely one of water as you look at it on the wall there. One other real character feature within this space is the flooring. So we've chosen a Viola marble, which is where it's got rich purple veins coming through, and we've mixed it with a Calcutta. Now, there's always a story with everything I source, and with this, it did take me some time to find. So Viola, at the moment, the stone is coming out quite dark, and it's not the purple tones coming through that this floor is, and we really wanted those purple tones. So what I did is we waited and waited until we found the right slab. When we did, we were able to then cut it into the checkered effect that you'll see on the floor here. So it's really special because not only has it been a labour of love finding the right product, it still achieved what we wanted all along. So sometimes it's worth just waiting and getting it right, and we're really pleased that we did. So that creates a lovely grandeur as you're coming in. I mean, nothing more grand than a Viola marble floor. It is spectacular. So over here, what we've created are these lovely little alcoves. So it could have been a flat wall, we could have just dressed it with artwork, but we decided we wanted to do something a little bit different. So what we've done is we've done this concaved alcove, and it's been finished with a bowerwork lime wash finish. So you get a very mild purple hue coming through, which then complements the flooring, which is fab. And then we've got these tiny, tiny little spotlights, and these are allowing then the light through. Now, this isn't finished, this space, so this project we've decided to show you because I'm so excited to show it to you, but it's not completely finished. The plan is actually to have a Viola marble shelf coming across here and being cut into this, which will accentuate this lovely curve, and each of these will have a lovely floral display in each of the alcoves. We've then got our lovely glazed doors that I've spoken to you about earlier in another episode, where we've created these bespoke glazed doors with the oak slimline frame. Even down to the hinges, I've been really thoughtful in the design here, and you'll notice the handles all match throughout all of the doors, but it will allow you to see through. So here you'll see through then into the kitchen, and you'll see through into the boot room. So the house flows, and that level of flow is really important to me. Following on from the entrance hall, how do you make a dark and dingy entrance hall grand? You allow it to flow into something like this. So So this doesn't feel like a traditional boot room or cloakroom. It's got a really lovely feel to it, so you can see it from the entrance hall. We've dressed it with a rattan in between, so it's breathable. You've got the walnut again, so being able to see the walnut from the stairs and then into this area with the cabinetry here, it really complements each other. And I think that's really important in order to be able to elevate the space. And then this space again isn't finished, so it's nice to be able to talk about what's to come. I've got a lovely mirror coming here for in between the wall lights. I've got a low level bench for here and this side here, and then artwork for this wall. So I'm dressing it on both ends, but it's nice to allow the space to breathe before that comes in. So I've already chosen the pieces, but I haven't yet chosen the art, which is allowing the family to live in it for a little bit before I start putting all that in. And then we're gonna flow now. So again, talking about this flow, I keep talking about this flow, I'm gonna bore you all with flow, but it is important. So talking about this flow, we then come through from the sort of cloakroom area into then the WC. And again, talking about grandeur, this is a glowing onyx sink. So this is absolutely beautiful. What we've done here is we've allowed it to float on walnut. Again, these features of walnut coming through have got so much character and richness to them. So it is really grand. And then under here, you can see it overhangs coming down. And all I've done is put LED lighting underneath there. So it's super simple. I mean, I'm telling you all my tricks of the trade here, but it does allow for this to glow. And then one of my most beautiful parts of this cloakroom is the mural art that we've got here. So we collaborated with our mural artist, Julie, in order to create something very individual, very bespoke. So this is a gilded finish, and then we've got all of the branches painted with then the magnolia, and then you'll see the little birds. Can you see this little bird? That's so beautiful. And this was done using a mix of SketchUp, Photoshop, drawings, samples, until Julie was able to understand what was in my head and what I wanted to create. We worked with the client really closely to check that it was what they wanted, and she couldn't have been happier. I mean, honestly, the result when a client sees something as special as this and as bespoke as this and loves it as much as you do is just amazing. I have phone calls all the time because her friends come in and just absolutely adore it. So no, I'm very, very proud of it. We've also got the walnut again, floating in the alcoves. And then here we've got the Soho Home Avena wall lights, which create this lovely warm glow. So again, if you can use warm lighting, something that looks quite glamorous. So this here, you can see the stone where it's glowing through, it's got lots of texture, it looks organic, but then that hint of elegance with the brass detail that the light's reflecting off. Another tip to add grandeur into an entrance hall would be to put a central display table in the centre. So a round table with the lovely flowers coming out that will greet you as you come into the space. The clients didn't want this because this is a family home of 4, the kids are running around on their scooters. So the practicality of this was that actually to keep it clear meant less accidents. But you would be able to do that in a space like this, especially if the space allowed it more. We're slightly more restricted with space here, so we've layered it lots with textures and depth to be able to create the grandeur. But if you've got more space, I'd definitely recommend a central table as you enter, dressed beautifully, that welcomes you. The key to remember is, what do you see when you first come into your home? Make that an entrance to remember. You need to feel great when you come in your home. You want your guests to feel great, so make that an entrance to remember. So over here, we did have an option to hide all of this brickwork. We've actually decided to keep it in. To be able to make the most out of the original features of the property is an absolute must. It'd be a real shame to hide away the good features that are traditional from the property. Obviously anything that's damaged or isn't gonna add to the aesthetics, and I completely understand disguising it, but here, why not make it a feature? So we've left it open and we've created an LED lighting detail to be able to elevate the ceiling that's lifted. We've worked with the characters we were given, and I hope you agree we made the most out of it. So I hope you've enjoyed my tips on how to make a dark and dingy entrance hall into one that is totally grand and welcoming. If there's anything I've missed or any questions you've got, please do comment below. I would happily answer more questions. And stay tuned because we've got more from our Kingsbury House project coming very soon.